NLG plan, chances are.
All right. So, hey, welcome back, everyone. We've been having a few challenges there on the stream side, but we're excited to be back here. And hope you had a fantastic weekend. Hope you're having a great President's Day. If you have today off, great for you. We are here. We're going to just go through some charts and some different stuff that we're looking at. The market is not like most of it's open, but there's some things we're seeing that we don't see moves on, or I didn't see moves on earlier anyways. And but the thing I always want to remind everybody of is, hey, look, we're only documenting our journey. This is not financial advice. So anything we do or say, you want to check it and make sure that it's what's right for you. Don't go necessarily with what we're doing. But we are taking trades. We're taking live trades, and we're sharing those with you as we do those when it fits into our broadcast time. And you're seeing profits. You're seeing losses. I had a nice profit the other day, about 25 pips. I got to look again, but I'm always looking at that sort of range, 20, 25, 30 pips or more in some cases. Just depends on what it is. So I've been mostly focused on Euro USD lately, a little bit on gold, and even UJ and what we call GJ. So, and I know we got Stephen here, we got Michael. Michael is in Aruba and he's having a little challenge on that internet connection. How is that? Is that audio any better right now, Mike? You are muted though, just in case. So I'll let you jump in when you can. But it's a horrible thing to have to be down in Bermuda. Aruba, right? So, but we are going to keep this one relatively short. We want to go through a couple things on the charts, and if we find a good trade, then great. We're going to do that. Anything you want to add in, Stephen, as I pull up the charts?
No, we were talking about, well, first of all, we're talking about streaming live on Facebook. I don't know if you saw it, but I pulled it up. I don't see it, just to let you know there.
Yeah, no, it is. I saw it on my side. It's in $250,000 in our podcast page. So it is live there, and it should be live on YouTube, should be live on x.com, and we're going to add some other locations as well as we figure out all of that side, so we can share it with everybody. But you should be able to see my chart here, and I happen to be in Euro USD.
Yeah. And
I'm on the 1 hour chart. And so what I'm looking at is a few different things. So first of all, there was I always like to look at these calls. So you can tell if we have an Einstein call. Einstein is one of the services that we have that we got when we started our quest. And Einstein predicts good trades. It's not perfect, but it's really, really good. It's really impressive. So I was looking at this particular trade here, right? So it came in, so the entry was at 1.1858, and that was Friday at 3 o'clock. Okay. So it was a few days ago now. That was the last one that we got on the 1 hour for Euro USD. But Friday at 3 o'clock, it said, hey, this is going to be a buy. And I know it's a buy. Remember, with Forex, we can make money whether it's going up by taking a buy, or if it's going down by taking a sell, right? So we looked and they said, yeah, it's going to go up. Now, it did go up in that candle. And Einstein was predicting and saying, hey, look, do it, take profit here or here. So TP1, take profit 1, and take profit 2, right? And so the candle did go up, didn't get anywhere near TP1, about halfway there. Another candle almost made it all the way up and started coming down, right? And then actually dropped below where we got in. So depending on where we had our stop loss, now I was not in this trade. I was not trading at 3 o'clock on Friday. But if I was, my stop loss probably, just looking at it quickly, would have been down below the 200 moving average, which is this yellow line, right? And so it never would have hit my stop loss. It wouldn't have come down here. But actually, before I go too far, just the reason I keep it down there is the 200 moving average is a really good rejection line. A lot of times, when the market's coming down, it'll hit that and it'll bounce back up. Okay, so I like to use that. Now, at other times, I'm looking at the ATR. I'm saying, what is the ATR, the average true range, which is an average of the past 14 candles in their movement, and I'll usually double that. So if I don't have something like this in my way, I'll usually double the ATR and then put my stop loss below that. All right. So in this particular case, that would have been fine. It never would have hit, but I would have been wondering, should I jump out? Right. And it's like we said, we're gonna give you the good and the bad, right? So as I see it come down below where I got in, I mean, it came down substantially below where I got in, would be like, maybe I should get out. But at that point, I probably would not have. And then I would have been rewarded for not getting out, because that next candle was up, next one up, next one up, and it went way above B2. So it would have done all right. And it stayed there for a while, right? In that range between TP1 and TP2 for the most part. It's come down since then. And it's interesting because we were just talking about the 200 moving average here, but we've got the 66 moving average here. And while it pierced the 66, a candle never closed above it, right? The wicks were there, but not the candles, right? So meaning it went above, like this at one point, this red candle was all the way up here, right? You can see how far it went, but then it retreated. And this is where it closed, right? So I should say right here is where it closed. So, but that's where it opened. And so it stayed well below the 66. And if you follow this, everything has stayed below the 66 all the way down. It's interesting because one of the other things we look for is an E3 cross. And usually, and I'll show you and give you an example of one. So here's an E3 cross when the red line, the 66, crosses the 20 moving average. All right, and it did it substantially. I mean, it hit, right? So at that point, we know that it's most likely going to go down, right? It's amazing, but you can see this huge drop. I can't believe how much of a drop this is. You didn't happen to measure this one, did you, Stephen?
No, I didn't, but it was significant.
That was a 63 pips drop. I got that right between all three.
There's a cross, to pay attention.
What's that?
When there's a cross, to pay attention, because there's going to be an opportunity there to either buy or sell. Right.
But this was, normally the cross is subtle. This was not subtle, and that's because it was reacting to this drop.
Yeah.
Okay. So even at the cross still went up a little bit, came down. Usually it just comes down. Right. For the most part, I mean, it'll level out sometimes. Came up a bit, still continued down. But if you look at the trend has been down. All right. So if you look at the trend, and this is since Wednesday of last week. So the trend here has definitely been down, although you'll have some peaks and valleys and some changes in the market. So it's pretty interesting. But right now we're sort of consolidating in this range. And the big reason, all right, so we got the 200 right here, which looks like it's holding on these two, although it was pierced twice. And you get the 20 moving average here, which really is holding. The 66 definitely is holding. So we're going to probably see a narrow range unless there's something to drive this down. Would you agree with that, Stephen?
Yes.
And I don't know, I wasn't sure if Mike was able to jump in or if either of you had any questions or comments on that.
I'm not sure if Mike's hearing you with his connection.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So he will be back from Aruba. I'm not sure how long he's even gone. I just know he's going to be gone for at least the rest of this week. So it looks like, and again, this could just be a piercing of the 200, but where it's already closed below the 200 recently, this might be more than just a piercing. So let's look at this. Where do we think it could go down? If it's going to break through and continue down, where do we think it's going to go to? And by the way, this is Euro USD, which means this we've got the euro compared to the US dollar, right? So what this is really saying is that if this is dropping, which it appears to be, then the value of the euro compared to the US dollar is dropping. So they're getting closer to even, right? But yeah, it certainly has pierced through. We've got what 17, almost 18 minutes left in this candle, in this hour's candle. So some of the other things we look at is the RSI, right? So we're looking at this coming down, and the RSI is pointing down. This is all on the 1 hour. So let's chart this. So we know that we have a zone right here. Actually came down. Our real zone. Let me just look here. We have a zone here, which is a supply zone. And that's because we had a bunch of buyers here, and they were overtaken by sellers on this candle. And this candle plus this candle is way more than double this candle. So this is a supply
50%.
zone. Yeah. So, and we certainly have a low here. So I'm just going to put a ray over there just to mark that, because that could be a buy zone or a buy spot.
And if there's someone who can't see, you hit that at the bottom of that wick of that candle. Yep.
No, it's a little lower. Let's get that right. There we go. Got it. Thank you. So the next thing we want to look at is, okay, so where are the buyers? So the last time we had a really good buy was over here. And those two candles are larger than this one candle. So technically this is a zone that we're in right now. And it's a big zone. I'm going to mark it, but it is a big zone. And this would be a demand zone. So we get supply, we get demand. And it's in here, and it's been in here. It hasn't closed below this zone. And it's interesting. I mean, you can see here it pierced, but it didn't break. So there's a few things to look at here, right? So if I'm going to take a trade, and you'll notice, by the way, this candle already retreated. It's now up above the 200. So the 200 seems to be holding. We'll see. But because we closed inside the zone, technically this zone shouldn't exist, right? I'm looking for more indication. Like right here, I think we've got a solid area that's probably not going to be broken right away, but I don't know. I can't tell. So in a case like this, what am I saying? I wouldn't make the trade.
Right.
Right. Because this is not,
it's not giving you much, it's not giving you any strong indication.
right. Now, what I can do though is I can go and I can look and say, well, first let's look at, let's say the 4 hour. Does that give me anything more? You know, 4, I've got this little zone here up above. Yeah, the next zone where there are buyers way down here on the 4 hour. And that would be a huge drop. But there were a lot of buyers in this area. I mean, let's see, or here even. Let's go here for sure. So we could definitely on the 4 hour, I'll make this a little shorter here so we can get it all on screen, and I'll get rid of that so it cleans it up. So we've got some zones below there that are a ways down. So we could see this fall. The only thing is at the back wall of this zone right here that we're in, you'll notice that's exactly where the 66 is sitting right now. So, and that's also where that low was. Right, they're all pretty close. So when you're looking at trying to determine which direction it's going to go in, what are we looking at? We're looking at, do we have one confirmation or one thing that would stop it? Do we have two things? Do we have three things, right? The more confirmations, the more things that would stop something from moving and turn it around, the better. Is that fair to say, Stephen?
Yes. Yep.
So, we've got the back wall of this buy zone, demand zone. We've got the 66 right there. We've got a low right above there. Now I've got a couple of other lows going back, but I like to look at the most recent information where I can. So, and then RSI, here's another thing. So RSI right now is pointing down, or pointing more so at 3 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of not moving right now, but Jerome, the yellow line, is above it, as is the 50 percent mark. So when you look at those two and you say, okay, the RSI is below those, which means the 50 moving average and the Jerome, which is the 10 moving average, those are both above. Those are blocking this from going up, right? So if those are blocking this from going up, then what do we have? We've got this with nothing below it until we hit right around the 20% or the 20 moving average. In this case, where we're not even the moving average, but the 20% on the scale, where it's saying, hey, this is now getting oversold. So we've got a long distance here and resistance points that it could bounce off of here. So the odds are good that this is going to continue to come down. The question is, how far down, right? And if you look at this trend here, we're certainly seeing that in the 4 hour. So let's go back to the 1 hour. RSI is pointing down. Let's go to the 45 minute. Still same thing. 30, same thing. Although 30, you've got Jerome and the RSI trading spaces. I mean, they're really, really close. The 15 looks like Jerome is just going on top and RSI is coming down. The 5, the 3, all the same. So the odds are pretty good that this is going to come down. So with that, I'm actually going to take a sell. I'm still in my zone, and I know it could stop here, but let me open up my. You won't see this piece, but you'll hear the sound. So you would see, and let's do a. Just waiting for a slight pullback here. And then I'm going to take that sell. Hoping for a pullback anyways. All right, a little more, a little more. There we go. So you heard that pop. So I'm in the sell now. And, I could have waited maybe for a little bit more pullback. I think just based off of walking things back and the RSIs and everything else, that it's going to continue to go down. And it's going to break these zones. And that's what I did.
Do you have stop loss that you put in?
I'm putting that in as we speak. So, but my stop loss, I put above the 20, right?
Yeah.
And I'm actually, I'm going to put it above the 66 here. So that's there. Now I can do my take profit. And let's, and I want to take that to 1.1816. There. So, and then, so now I'm in this trade, right? So I've got my take profit over here. All right, I got in about here. So right now I'm down, just a little bit, not much. But I also have a stop loss up here. So if it went up here, obviously it's going to take me out of the trade and I'll be done, right? And I'm not going to change that. Other than as it starts to move down here substantially, I may move this down into a profit territory.
Right.
And that's really it. So, so I'm watching the RSI. Let's watch the RSI now.
That being a key point on why you're watching it is that continues down, you'll move that stop loss down where.
Yeah.
If it hits that, you're still making a profit.
Yep. So, and there's a lot of stuff here that could stop it. I mean, I could be wrong, but I'm just looking at the trend and saying, okay, we've got some room to move here. And it wasn't that long ago where we were, I mean, this is,
I'm gonna bring up something right now that just popped in my mind on the decision whether to, make the trade or not. My father always had a line, did a lot of real estate, mostly 2 and 3 families in Hartford, Connecticut area.
mm-hmm.
And it was a constant battle with my father that I was the one that had contacts with the realtors and I was getting the deals coming in. And we had the reputation of closing on time and not having any issues. And they were all, there were no mortgage contingencies. So his line was, I never lost money in a deal I didn't do. And it was literally like, okay, we're buying a 3-family house, literally for $60,000.
Mm-hmm.
Because of my relationship with the asset managers and the realtors, I'd get some guidance. So I'm like, we need to offer more than 60, the asking price. If we go to 65, we'll get the deal. And he'd argue with me about $5,000. And I said, Dad, when we're done in 6 months, we're going to make $100,000. So we only make 95.
Yep.
So it just popped in my mind, in terms of pushing a button.
Yeah.
And by everything we've got, we're consistently winning above the 50% average, consistently. I mean, higher numbers, where that confidence keeps building. And one of the things that we've just myself, Don, and Mike have discovered, what we thought we knew a month ago, all of a sudden it was like, we look at each other and say, wow, this is even getting stronger. Because little by little, we're getting more knowledge, and the training that we're getting in our classes, there's more that we're discovering to narrow those parameters in terms of the indications that we're looking for, which way we should make a trade on any given moment. And that keeps getting stronger. So the vision that we've had that hit us right in the beginning keeps growing on really an exponential basis every week. If that makes sense to you, Don, and what we keep saying.
It does. It does. And we're learning, and I mean, we're still going to make mistakes, and we are making mistakes, which is why, this is not financial advice, right? I mean, right now I'm still in drawdown. Let me see, what was my line I got in at? So I got in 18. So I got in here. So right now I'm in drawdown, right? Which just means that I'm in the negative right now, even though it's still the candle's red. And I could have waited. Like, I could have waited until the candle closed to see what happened and whatnot. We got 2.5 minutes left in the candle. But, just looking at all of the other trends, it is a downtrend, looking at where the RSIs are compared to Jerome, what's happening. Now, in this particular case, on the 5, it's not exactly going my way, but it's a short-term 3 and 1, same thing. Now, the 1, we'll see what happens, but I'll keep watching those. But I don't see, like you can see on this screen, I've got the 10 moving average right here, which it kissed, but that was it, right? And it rejected off the 10, which is that white line. And now I'm on the 30, by the way, here. Let's go back to the 1. So on the 1 hour, the 10 is way up here, as is the 20 and the 66, but they're all coming down. And those are points of resistance. So those are coming down, all 3 of them. And we know that, let's see, where is it? Oh, that's why, because I've got it hidden. And I've got my 200 here. What I think we're going to see, and I'm going to probably I could be in this trade all day. I don't know how, I would rather be in trades for a shorter period of time. But here's what I see. I see the 66 coming down, the 200 coming down, the 10 coming down, the 200, I should say the 20 up here, but the 200 is going to sort of go like this. These are going to come down and cross over. So we're going to have a yellow on the top, or 200 on the top, then the 66, then the 20, then the 10, which typically indicates that this is a real down trend. And that's where everything looks like it's headed. So now we've got 15 seconds left in this candle. Let's see if it closes and stays closed below the 200. If it does, then I think I'm in really good shape. And it's going further. So let's see, 2 seconds, 1 second, boom, candle's closed. So it broke the 200 for the 3rd time. All right, 3 out of 4. So I think I'm in good shape. I'm going to stay in this for a while, and I'm going to ride this down. I don't know how far it's going to go, but after we get out of the zone, we've got a ways to go.
Right.
So I do think that this is going to be a good trade, and I'll be watching it, right? So I've got some meetings during the course of the day, but that's the other nice thing about this. I can sit here and I know my stop loss is up here, right? I don't believe it's going to go through the 200, the 10, the 20, the 66, and this zone. I don't think that's going to happen. Right? It could. So even though I'll be in meetings, I know that that's the worst I can do. Right? That's where the worst that can happen for me as far as losing. But the gain, let's see, what is the pips on that? Let's just look. So if I'm here, come on, give me this. It didn't want to do what I wanted to do. Why is that? There it goes. So that's a 17 pip loss. That's not really a lot. What do I have to gain? Well, I got in here. Oh, all right, it's going to be 33 pips. So
Exactly.
that I'll take that chance all the time. All right. And I'm looking and it's coming back down towards where I want it to be, where I want it to go. So, and is it going to go up and down over the next few hours? Yeah.
Yes. Mhm.
Right. But folks, look, I mean, I'm not really breaking a sweat here. I didn't put a huge lot size in this. All right, I could have, but I'm building up my account. Remember, our goal is to go from $250 to $1 million and to see how quickly we can do this. And do it really part-time as we're learning. So that's the whole idea of this quest. So by the way, if you want to be part of the quest, you can learn the stuff that we're learning, right? Tomorrow in the morning, many of us will be on. I won't be on just because I have another meeting at the time. But I know you'll be on there, Stephen, with Donnie Pips,
Right.
live trading. Tomorrow evening, I'll be on there, or you'll be on there for some live training with Donnie. And we do that. Typically, he's doing it 4 days, 3 to 4 days per week in the morning with live trading, and then 2 nights a week that we are training with him. And why don't you do me a favor, Stephen? Let's close out with that. But if you want to just talk about what we get with what anybody gets with the quest and why that matters.
Well, with the quest, what you're getting is the training with Donnie, and then the training, you're watching us, and you've got the ability to ask us questions also as well. And you're seeing what we're doing. So we're applying the knowledge that we've gotten, like let's say Tuesday, we're going to apply that on Wednesday when Tuesday morning we're on live with Donnie, we're on with Donnie, and then later on we have our podcast. And we're taking what we learned with him, going back over this, and then we're live trading at the same time. And you saw right here, right now, what Donnie's just done and how he created the trade and what we've gone through and the indicators that indicate this is a good trade and that it's highly likely to generate income and versus have a loss. And that's what we're looking for, and that's what we gain. And doing that consistently so that our wins are significantly greater than any losses. And at the same time, each trade is not one that's going to break us, because Donnie also teaches us a discipline on what to do.
Yep. Yeah, and spot on. Well done. We put in a set amount. Think about it. Could you risk $250? Right? And will you lose some of it? Probably. Right? Will you gain? Yes. But you can start off with trades that are, you're making $1 or $2, losing $1 or $2. You can make a lot of trades with $250, right? And as you're getting better, as you're learning, And then you start to ratchet up those sizes, those lot sizes, make it bigger and bigger. And now instead of earning $2, you're earning $20 or $200 or $2,000. Because all it is a lot size. Once you've got the other stuff down, it's just changing that lot size. It's just a simple math equation. And so yeah, it's fun, it's exciting, and I'll close out this side just by saying, look, I can see it looks like hopefully the 200 is closing. Holding. I believe it's going to. I think this is going to continue down, and I'll be watching it. So, by the way, when I get out of this trade, I'll see if I can grab a screenshot and show you where it ended up. Whether I won, let me rephrase that. Whether I profited or whether I lost funds, you're going to know. All right. So hopefully this has been fun and helpful, and y'all have a phenomenal day. I'll stop.
Excellent.